Ah, the unique sound of a unique instrument, the celesta, evoking images of the sugar plum fairy and holiday moments.
Yeah, so I can open up the keyboard. It's like a small keyboard instrument. Put this down.
That's organist, choirmaster, ballet conductor, and celesta player Kevin Galie, who recently returned to the Cape as a guest artist for the Cape Cod Symphony and brought the celesta sound and an actual celesta with him.
My home instrument is organ and choir directing. I've been doing that all my life. I went to Boston Conservatory and Boston University. And so I did a 2-year stint here at St. Peter's Episcopal Church in Osterville.
The celesta is an increasingly rare beast, one that Galie loves, owns 2 of, and shares with the music community.
This one, I think, dates from about the 1950s. And so this is Schiedemeyer. So what happens is Mostel invented it. But, you know, the Germans are good at, this is also true with pipe organs and pianos. You know, the French make something that's sort of sweet, and then the Germans take it and they sort of muscle it up. So, and what a lot of conductors say is that it's too soft, you know, you can't play it. And in fact, in the music I'm playing tonight by Aaron Copland, what I tend to do is play the music louder than is written, because I know the conductors want to hear it. I think the viewer, to understand how it works, to actually see the inside of it. So I'll play some of it, and these are like piano hammers, and they hit these horizontal bells that look a lot like xylophone bells. Do you see them moving? Now, the original celesta I had for 25 years, I got from a theater group in Ohio. It was called Mostel. Mostel was the original maker and the inventor of the celesta. So what happens is Tchaikovsky was the first person to use celesta in orchestra. A lot of people think it was the Nutcracker. He actually wrote a small, a very obscure symphonic poem piece just before the Nutcracker used the celesta. But Tchaikovsky was in Paris, and he went by the Mostel store, this famous company, Mostel, that also made pump organs and pianos. And they had this brand new invention of an instrument, and Tchaikovsky heard it, you know, so it's like bells. And Tchaikovsky went crazy. He immediately bought one, sent it to Russia, and Tchaikovsky sent a note along. He said, "I've bought this instrument, it's top secret." There's 2 famous composers, Rimsky-Korsakov and Glazunov. They were his contemporaries. He said, especially do not tell Rimsky-Korsakov and Glazunov, I bought one of these. Because for him, it was like his secret weapon for composing.
The instrument got its name from the French celeste, for heavenly, and its bell-like tones sound almost fantastical and otherworldly. It plays like a keyboard, but technically belongs to the percussion family, much like the glockenspiel, to which some people have compared its sound. It's
an instrument that plays this bell sound, and so you can do things like this with some of the percussion instruments, like a marimba or a xylophone, but obviously not as many notes. John Williams especially uses it a lot, but you hear it in a lot of pieces. I just did a concert, there's a ballet by Maurice Ravel called Mother Goose that has a big celesta part in it. I just played that last spring on my other celesta, the one that's now in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Its ethereal tones appear in current compositions, like the Harry Potter soundtrack. But for many, those bells conjure images of the iconic and classic holiday ballet, the Nutcracker Suite.
We were just talking about Harry Potter. You hear it a lot in Harry Potter. The most famous is the Nutcracker. And it's the Sugar Plum Fairy. Now, what Tchaikovsky said about the Sugar Plum Fairy is it should sound like drops of water coming from a fountain. Yeah, that's what he said. And it's funny because that's the Sugar Plum Fairy. In the Waltz of the Flowers and the Nutcracker, you know, right? The lead ballerina is actually called the Dewdrop. So somewhere in there's like a little joke, because the Dewdrop is really the Sugar Plum Fairy. So I don't know how that happened, but you know, and this is not a performance, folks. I'm just reading this music. So it's something. Right? You recognize. So that's the That's the sound. So everybody, and this is where the ballerina comes, and she, if you see in the choreography, she comes walking out on her point shoes before she starts doing some of the dance moves. So it's, and it has the, and it really, he really got it, you know, how this, you know, you have this famous part, right? Da 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 da. Right, you know the music.
Today, technology tries to replace the celesta's hammers and bells with a synthesizer, but Galie says you just can't replace the real thing.
The manager here, Wes, he just sent me this email. It's like, can you do this? Can you play Celeste for this? And I think word is getting out, because what happens a lot with orchestras, and I won't name them, but you know, they use a synthesizer, which is, you know, you can really, the orchestra players can hear it, and some of the, not everybody can tell the difference, but it's actually a pretty big difference. And it's also, you know, you've got all these beautiful instruments, these expensive violins, and then somebody's here sitting with a synthesizer and a speaker. It's sort of sad. And so, but the problem is that not many people, I mean, obviously Boston Symphony has celestas, they don't lend them out. New England Conservatory has a couple, they don't lend them out. So I might be the only person in town that has not one but two. So I also have a 5-octave celesta for more modern music. So people, the word's getting out.